Welcome, everybody, to day 2 of King of the Rockies. I'm Beal. I'm joined with MSN this morning before we kick off the games. MSN, how's it going?
I am a bit tired, but ready for the day.
Excellent, excellent. So, we got a good slate of games for you. This is our first elimination day. But MSN, you're coming over from Europe. What are the big things you've noticed about America? Any culture shock?
There's a lot of culture shocks. Where do I start? The roads, 3 times as big. The food, 3 times as unhealthy.
Yep.
And then everything from the light switches, the door handles, and the little flushies on the toilet. Everything's different.
For sure. Were you able to go out to the Texas Roadhouse on the first day with everybody and
Yes.
get that experience?
A lot of fun.
Nice, nice. And I know Denver, there's a lot of Mexican restaurants up here, right? Something a little different than Europe. I know we had some Mexican for lunch yesterday.
It was amazing. I think first time tasting real Mexican food, it was incredible. The seasoning, it's different level.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you're slated for the second series today, going up against your teammate Valdemar. How are you feeling going into that one?
I mean, of course, I'm a little bit nervous because it's my first LAN, and Valdemar's a very competent player. At the same time, I have a little bit of tempo against him because of the last, I think, 2 or 3 series where I have beaten him. We haven't practiced at all for the tournament because obviously we might face each other, which was the correct call. So I don't really know what to expect, but I'm gonna do my best.
Great. Really looking forward to that series. I believe it was the first day of qualifiers that you were able to qualify in the finals over Valdemar in a 3-1 series. As we can see that on the screen right now. Look at that match count, dead even. So
Yep.
looking forward to a great series later today. But yeah, what an experience. Being your age, the youngest one up here. I know your dad's in the audience, brought you over to the venue. What's it like for someone your age to get this opportunity to go out to a different country and compete at such a high level?
I am very, very grateful for the position I'm in because even if players had like the same skill as me but were 10 years older, they might not have been able to go because of real life obligations. So I'm very grateful to be here. I've had a lot of fun, so I'll definitely be looking forward to the next LAN as well.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, you are certainly a rising star in the scene. Been taking a look at Twitch chat throughout the first day, and you're clearly one of the audience favorites. I see a lot of shout-outs to MSN in the chat. Yeah, do you have any words, maybe any trash talk to
Any trash talk?
anybody you want to call out?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think everybody's amazing.
Excellent, excellent. Very, very polite, very professional. Great to have you up here. I know we've got Magic and Myriad going at it next, and that is going to be an incredible series.
For sure.
It was a 3-2 series in the qualifiers before the event. You have any thoughts on how that one's going to shake out?
I think it'll be very difficult to call. Obviously, Magic, he's been like improving a lot since then because of the practice with Wham and Puppy, and he is kind of in that Canadian mega, you could say. Whereas Myriad, a bit different. I think he's playing very well recently, and I think it'll be a very, very close series.
Yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to it too. That's the first one on the docket today. Yeah, any other final thoughts, final words that you might have for?
I mean, I am cheering for Myriad, so
Okay.
I hope he'll kick some ass.
Very good, very good. Great, yeah. So we're locked in, we're getting ready. The players are setting up for the first series here. Gonna have Soccerton join me soon. See, getting locked in right now. Yeah, any issues with travel?
I mean, the travel was long and exhausting, but then I heard Louis was like 20 hours, 22 hours flight. So I don't have any right to complain at
That's
all.
a brutal one. Yeah, to have that 20-hour travel time to get here, basically compete first day when you are here, and put up a strong performance so far. That's tough. That's very tough, and he's looked great so far today.
Yeah.
All right. So we've seen some memes. The Byzantines, the Japanese. It seems like one of those matchups that people are talking about. The Japanese just able to shut down Byzantines. Those early spears. Couple of interesting matches like that yesterday.
Yeah.
Any matches that jumped out at you that you were watching? Anything that was shocking or?
I mean, I remember the English-Mongol game on Frisian with Valdemar and Kate and Louis, and I was kind of shocked. That's not a matchup I've seen before. Obviously, Louis likes his 2TC and he's very great with it, but I was surprised by like Mongols, and it's a very specific matchup as well. I haven't seen like all in that practice.
Yeah, I think a lot of us here were shocked when we saw the English pick come in, but you know he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Practiced it, he played it well. Picked up the win on that. Any of the favored maps? I know we've got a couple of custom maps, Rockies and Front Range.
I mean, in my practice, I've been responsible this time, so I've banned the same map every time, and then I've picked a random. Same with my second ban, because at that point your opponent can first pick any map, so you can't really be sure. Which also it makes me think about the map pool kind of healthy, because I don't have a favorite map. I don't have a map I don't like. Except Golden Heights.
Yep, our water map for the tournament. Not surprised we've only seen it one time so far. Maybe we'll get a second or third today.
Yeah.
So we are just locked in, waiting for that first series to start up. I believe they might be drafting at this point. Yep, we can see the bands starting to come in. Yeah, this is going to be an incredible series here. Magic, Myriad, both very good players, very seemingly evenly matched from the qualifiers and what we've seen from both of these players. Pretty crazy Magic to come back from his success in AOM and be able to be here at this LAN event. He's put a lot of practice with Puppy and Wham and the Canadians to get here. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it'll be very close. I'm looking forward to see what they'll ban and pick. I think it'll be an interesting draft.
And we should see that coming in shortly. I believe they have started. Yeah. You have any plans? I know, like, this is going over the weekends. Yesterday, when we wrapped up, I personally was just too tired to do anything after. I went back to the hotel and just crashed. Have you been out enjoying the city, or has it just been mostly?
It's been mostly AOE.
Super focused AOE. Yeah.
Tomorrow, though, however, if I do get knocked out in the 3 sets I'm potentially playing today, I would like to go see some nature tomorrow.
Yeah, get some hiking.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, get into the Rockies, have a hike. All right, we've got our maps coming in now. Yeah, and
no Golden Heights, no Holy Island.
Nope. Keeping it on land here.
Yep.
And we should have the civs popping up very soon. Yeah. So if you're sitting here, if you're Myriad, if you're Magic, what are you thinking going into this set?
I mean, it's nice to have KT or Auto for Frisian, because those 2 civs are very good. Ruse on Pigeon View is quite nice, but it's also, I mean, a Byzantine map for sure.
Yep.
Ruse because you can get some very good hunting cabins with the extra stealth forest around the foot line, and Biz because there's so many berries, right?
Yep.
We do see the bans now. Chang'e, Lancaster, very normal.
No surprises there. Yeah, I feel like those have been.
Although Magic first picks Japan, which I do find a little bit odd because the meta for this tournament's been first picking Biz, kind of.
Yeah, we've seen what Japan's been able to do against the Byzantines so far today. So locking in, securing Japan, and there it is. There's the Byzantines. It's like you said, being first picked by Myriad.
Now he might pick Ruse because he does have Biz, or he might pick KT for Frisian, or Ruse, of course.
Okay. Yeah. Securing Ruse on his side. Magic up. We'll see if he does go KT. Thinking about Frisian here. As he decides.
Malians.
Oh, it's going to be Malians. All right.
Very solid. Very solid.
Yep. And the first ban just about to come in for Myriad now. And so at this point in the draft, what are you thinking about? Like the remaining picks, what are you aiming to ban out?
Yeah. Ayyubids is that's a personalized ban for sure, because I know Magic likes his Ayyubids. KT, of course, it's pretty Frisian. But now Myriad, he really wants to secure augments, because Autos is the second favorite pick for Frisian.
Yeah, seen a lot of Ottomans there. KT no longer available to be picked. See what comes in just a second here. Zushi secured by Magic. Very strong.
Yeah,
all around.
I like Magic's draft so far. Mongols. Almost surely we'll see that for Prairie. And Auto. There you go.
There's Auto. All right. Ball's in Magic's court now for his picks.
I like how he takes his time. He's thinking about it, because it's a tough decision.
Yeah. I mean, at this level, so much of the series is decided at this point. The strategy that goes into, okay, what should I secure? What should I prevent my opponent from taking? Delhi in there for Magic.
Solid pick. Hopefully he can try and snipe Bruce with Delhi. Decent matchup for Delhi.
The next pick coming in shortly here.
HRE.
HRE. All right. So yeah, based on what we're seeing here, based on the maps that are available, what kind of direction do you think?
It'll be difficult to match. I mean, Magic, he does have some matchups where he wants a very specific matchup. For example, Rus versus Delhi. It's gonna be hard to snipe that, because you can play Rus on Arabia, Rockies, and Pigeon View. But I think the game will be kind of decided based on where he plays those civs.
For sure, for sure. Well, we are going to go to Civ Select in just a second here, see what's coming up for the first game of this best of 5 series, which I'm expecting we'll probably see all 5 over the course of the series. Coming in soon. So first map here, what do you think? What do you think it's gonna end up being between the two civs based on all the picks?
It's difficult. I think Myriad will definitely play KT. And then Magic, you have a couple civs you can play. You can play Ayyubids because of the cheaper docks. You can play HRE, very good eco. You can play Japan, again, cheaper fishing ships, and also very solid unit count versus KT. Or you can play Malians, which we've seen a little bit, not as popular though. So it's between those 3, Japan, HRE, and Ayyubids.
Yeah, and KT basically a lock on the other side. So strong on Frisian marshes. That just insane wood economy, really carrying them. on that map. Well, I think as we're just about to get this set up, I'm going to invite Soccerton on the stage. Great to see you, MSN. All right, welcome in, Soccerton.
Morning. How you doing?
Ready for day 2 here?
Oh, yes. Let us get into it soon here. It's going to be off. Ooh, we got a fun matchup to start things off, too.
Yeah, so it is going to be the Ayyubids on Magic's.
Ayyubids against KT on Frisian Marshes. We've seen KT used on this, I think, before already this series, right? Or this
It's
tournament.
a strong one, yeah. If KT is available to pick for Frisian Marshes, it is going to come out on this map.
Yeah, there's no other real water maps to use it, so this really is the chance to go out there and take it. All those docks, all those ponds, I imagine that'll be something he's doing. The question is, I'm looking at Ayyubids. What do you do with the Ayyubids on this map?
Yeah,
I mean, the Desert Raiders
they do
can be
have
pretty good.
they do have the cheaper docks like the Abbassid do, so they do get that advantage there with all the ponds available on Frisian Marshes. But it is going to be, how do you shut down KT?
I mean, the fishing eco is just going to really carry him for the first 20 minutes of that game. So how do you shut that down? How do you get an advantage? Obviously, Ayyubids is very tempo-focused, but KT is just so good on these kind of maps. Even a civ like Ayyubids, which can be very versatile in what they can do. You got Desert Raiders available to you. You've got those camels. So you have some maneuverability there. But gosh, the eco. I mean, the eco for KT is just so good.
Especially, I mean, KT typically going into the Chevaliers. You got the Desert Raiders on the other side, looking to shut that down, looking to provide, the camel unease against what would be the army comp for Myriad. So you got an angle there.
Yeah, the camel unease is a good thing. I think those Desert Raiders could really come in clutch. It's kind of interesting with the Ayyubids. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can play like a more of a feudal game and try and really get after those docks. I think if you just go straight into like a castle play and try and be a little more turtley, you can't, I think, just give up map control here to KT. If you just let him have those docks, no amount of tempo is going to save the eco like windfall that he's going to get against you later in the game. So I do kind of expect a bit more of a feudal play from Magic here, but again, every time I say something like that, it ends up being proved false. So we'll see how it goes.
Right. It does remain to be seen how exactly this will play out.
I do think Magic is the slight favorite here. I think most people, if they had a prediction, probably would say they expected to go 3-2 in Magic's favor. But I think this is a really good map and a good matchup for Myriad. I mean, this is great. He's using the back end of his Civ draft. He was able to get this one at the very end. He's got the perfect matchup for it. I think Myriad with KT could maybe take an early game here. I think he's got a good chance to do that.
Yeah, well, both of those players, something to prove here. Magic coming from AOM back to AoE 4. Myriad just looking to make a statement here. It is the first elimination series of the tournament, so unfortunately we will have to say goodbye to one of these players at the end, but hopefully we get a long, drawn-out, back-and-forth series before we have to let one of these fellas go.
Yeah, I'm excited for them. This is one of the ones I had kind of penciled in on my bracket, kind of looking at it. I kind of expected these two guys to play here at this point in the bracket, and from here, this is one of the more intriguing series, right? Because I mean, a 3-0 is a fun thing to watch, I guess. I mean, AoE's fun to watch, but the five game sets, where it goes 3-2 either way, those that final game just gets so exciting in my mind. And so when you're back against the wall, both these guys playing for their continuation in the tournament. This should be really, really fun. And, Magic has been really, really good of late. Like, he has been putting in a ton of work. I know he's been practicing with the Canadian brothers. He's been really grinding up. I've been very impressed with how he's done just overall this year. I mean, getting back into the game and to get back to that top level. I mean, getting to qualify for this event and then to be here. And I thought he did pretty good in his first series as well. And then to Myriad as well, he's been really kind of on the rise. I feel like he's been steadily getting better and better and better over time as well.
Yeah, Magic, first day taking that game off of Puppy Paw, that game on Prairie, Malians versus the Mongols, able to shut down the trade in the back that Puppy Paw had going, making it eventually a 3-1 series. We haven't seen one go to 5 just yet, I believe.
Trying to think.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, that was still a 3-1, I think, right?
All right.
Yeah. Didn't quite go to 5, or did I think we had one that went the distance, didn't we? Everything's a blur. I mean, there's, the funny
It's
thing
hard. You're casting, and it's like, wait, what happened game one? I'm trying to remember.
remember
Like, I'm
all
talking
that.
to the players at the end, and it's like,
get my notes here or something.
game one, that seems like it was 2 days ago. Yeah.
One with a full day of games too. Like, I mean, it's been, these days are so full of games, and we're here at the event center. But then once you're done casting, you go off and you start chatting with everyone else. You're kind of watching. Sometimes you watch a game or two really intently, then you're eating lunch. And these games are just going nonstop. So it's hard to keep track of all of it. There's a lot of games to be had, and if you're watching at home right now, you're at the right place. And I do want to point to the thing up in the top corner here, up in the top left. That is our goal there. We're trying to get that up to $5,000 if we can. We are only a little bit away from that 5K goal to make this a $20,000 prize pool, which would make us an S-tier tournament if we can hit that. So we got 2 more days to do it, today and tomorrow, and if we can, that'd be great. So if you can donate, please do. If not, of course, we understand. You can't, you can't. But if you can, maybe consider it. Getting a live look right now at our players getting ready. We got Myriad there on the left. We got Magic on the right, as they're getting ready to jump into game number 1, which should be coming up very shortly here in just a few moments.
Yeah, it looks like they might just be loading in at this point. We're just seconds away from kicking off day 2 here. Day 1 going 11 hours. I think we're locked in for something very similar today. Going to be top level AoE all day here. And then, of course, tomorrow we've got the finals as well. Going to be an exciting day, an exciting tournament, and here we go. Game 1, Magic, Myriad, Frisian Marshes.
Here we are, day 2 of King of the Rockies, broadcasting live from the Mile High City. Look at those little cute birds that flashed on the screen. That was very nice. Taking a live look at our aerial view of the map. Such a fun effect, man. Shout out to our production team for continually evolving and adding more and more and more, making this as fun as a professional broadcast as we can.
Yeah, and it's really cool to see the perspective. You can see that spear starting to cross the map, so we are going to see some aggression in the Dark Age coming from Myriad. A couple of spears on the field already, looking to really mess up with the early Ayyubids game of Magic.
We can see them rushing over to the gold mine right there. Magic threatening with the early spear. Myriad knows he needs to do something about that pretty quickly here.
Yep, Magic investing into, already got that dock down. I can see that on Myriad's side as well. One of the pawns already docked. There's the barracks. Dock coming up just now, a little delayed because of that early aggression. And here it is, those 2 spears looking to put the pressure, looking to shut down that dock while Magic doesn't have really much to respond with at this point in the Dark Age.
This is what makes KT so good on hybrid maps like this, is they don't mind going Dark Age spears at all. And for Ayyubids, like, it just feels kind of tough right now because you can't really match that right now. You're putting all your resources into that dock. It's not as easy for you to match a Dark Age play. Ayyubids just doesn't do that. And so right now, Magic's just got to hold this for a moment. Hope he can get into Feudal Age without taking too much damage. That dock, it's going to be slowly ticking down on the health. More spears coming in.
Yeah. A lot of spears. Myriad not taking his foot off of the gas pedal. You can see 5 on the field, 1 in the queue. He is continuing to pump those spears, continuing to just try to disrupt Magic, prevent him from getting that dock economy going.
He's doing that. He hasn't even gotten any fishing ships out because he's just pumping out spears. 6 already on the field of play. Meanwhile, Magic does have a couple boats out already. This isn't necessarily like a win condition, but man, does that pressure really make you feel uncomfortable this early on in the game?
Yeah, and you can see at this point there is an investment of 6 spears for Myriad. Magic just with that 1 dock, 2 fishing ships. Don't want to over-commit to that, especially with all of this pressure, because that dock is not going to last much longer. 5 spears now throwing torches.
At this point, what you want to do is try and time the drop-off just right so you get the most value out of those fishing ships, and then just keep those alive in the middle of the pond. Hopefully you can go back and build that dock back later. But regardless, you're still losing out on a little bit of the wood there. So the question is, will Myriad get enough value out of these spears to make it worth it? Because he is delaying his own age up by quite a bit here.
And he is going to find that other dock as well. The spear going out, functioning kind of as a scout, just checking those pawns. We'll see Magic's other dock. As we take a look at the sheep count in the bottom, looking pretty even, 14 to 12. That was one of those things. Frisian Marshes way back in the day had all of those additional sheep on the map, but now back to kind of a normal distribution here.
The fishing ships, they're still in range, aren't they? Those spears walking right past. I think
Yeah,
he got away with one there.
They've got another target there with the dock, and now a spear broken off just to harass at home, just to harass the gold mine. Growth Wing on its way, still about a minute out.
I like the choice to go Growth Wing here because what it does is it gives him a little bit of a bonus to obviously the 3 villagers, but the food, the berries get an additional 50 per berry patch as well. So he's giving himself more food in his base, which he might need seeing as the fishing is definitely under duress right now.
Yeah, and you can see that Magic has had to really just sneak a villager all the way to the top of the map, try to dock way out of sight, something that Myriad's not going to scout for a bit. But as I say that, the scout is right there, and he knows what's up. He knows where all the pawns are on Magic's side. He's just continuing to patrol and make sure that Magic can't really establish anymore. He's going to try to rebuild that dock in the original spot on that pond with the 2 fishing ships that are already there.
Kingdom of France coming in for Myriad right now. No surprise there. That's pretty much in the meta at this point, pretty solid. So it will be, but that just tells us he's going to be very aggressive and continue to keep up the aggression in Feudal Age.
And that villager that was running around trying to sneak some docks onto the pond will be scouted out. There's a spearman following as that second dock for Magic is about to be torched down. About to catch fire in just a second, and those spears and that scout are also going to see the rebuilt dock at home. That first villager gonna go down, first blood of the game.
Well, it's a good thing he got +3 villagers out of the landmark, as he is about to lose a second one here if he's not careful. Is he going to try and go for the body block? He does, and saves the villager with the body block. Excellent bit of micro there to keep the extra one alive, keeping that extra bonus. Now he's got, +2 villagers over Myriad with that still. He saved that with the body blocking. What a clutch idea.
Yeah, fishing economy just about even at this point. It looks like we got 5 apiece, but of course, Myriad, his side, just completely undisturbed. First Pilgrim coming out there, looking to get to the sacred sites in the middle. It's just classic KT on Frisian Marshes. Start pumping those Pilgrims, get that additional gold. And this dock is in trouble now, too. And there are archers coming out for Magic. You can see that his feudal military is now into production. You got the horsemen, the archers, a couple desert raiders as well in the queue, looking to keep those docks safe and maybe get some pressure back onto Myriad.
Yeah, at this point, he's stabilized. This was not a killing blow from Myriad into Magic. Like, he's not ended Magic's game here. Just made it a little difficult. That Pilgrim's going to make it just barely there. Walks around the horse. Now it's on Magic to get some damage. He's down a Vill. He's down some idle time with those fishing boats. He's lost a bit of wood from the docks he's had to replace. The spears are still out and about. But Magic now should be able to get a little bit of tempo. He's been up in age a little bit longer now than Myriad has been. But we do see the first Chevy already on the patrol here.
And it looks like he's going to pick up a villager as well and try to get out of there. Meanwhile, one of the docks for Myriad going to get spotted out. Myriad about to lose a villager too. Got the horsemen patrolling for Magic on Myriad's side. Scrappy back and forth of dock defense, dock offense. And now that cadre of spears, those 6 spears, are going to find that northern dock, start torching that one down as well.
That spear mass has just been a thorn in Magic's side from the beginning. They have just been getting so much value. As we see some archers getting onto the horsemen here, not enough horsemen to deal with this mass. In fact, one of those horsemen will go down, and the other one forced to flee.
Yeah, good little pickup there for Myriad. Pickup for sure, as another Pilgrim is able to get to the sacred sites, but the horsemen are going to chase that Chevalier away.
We're seeing the difference there of the horseman's speed, being able to outspeed the Chevys there and catch up to them. With 3 of those things, you can whittle the health down.
One of his friends joins the battle, able to get a charge off. Other charges coming in. Myriad able to clean up these horses. Both of them go down.
That's a lot of food.
Yeah.
That's a lot of food to be losing.
Archers coming up to defend the pawns in the north, trying to just get rid of that pack of spearmen that have been harassing all that fishing economy, and Magic will clean that up.
A lot of back and forth, very scrappy this game so far. A lot of small little skirmishes, a lot of places to keep looking at. Horsemen, of course, not able to really stand and take these big fights as easily. If they're trying to get onto the archers in the back line, the Chevy's trying to tank up front.
Yeah, and the Chevys certainly, they're horseman pluses, you could say. Horsemen with charges. not as strong as feudal knights.
It's like a mix between a horseman and a knight, right? Like not as fast, but not as strong either as knights. Not as fast as horsemen, but kind of in the middle. Not as expensive either. Horseman numbers looking pretty good for Magic here, though.
Yep, he continues to pump those. We got a Desert Raider coming in, going to give that debuff to the Chevys, but the Archers looking to focus that down, take out the Desert Raider, and they are able to.
I like the choice to go Desert Raiders in here. I know like the Archers counter them, and even the Chevys do pretty good, but getting that unease is a really nice thing. I like that he's adding just 1 or 2 in here while still pumping Horsemen.
Myriad is going to be able to advance a lot closer to Magic's base here, as you see another Horseman getting picked off, and now those villagers on the berries in a little bit of a precarious position. Myriad not able to commit with the army that he has right now to harass those, more focused on the actual army of Magic. He's going to be forced back just a little bit, get those archers into position so that they can start sniping out the Desert Raiders, and another one does go down here.
This is getting kind of dangerous for Magic. The Archer numbers aren't terribly crazy. They're just enough to kind of snipe those Desert Raiders, but the Chevy numbers are looking pretty dang scary, even with the unease as the Horsemen trying to get on top of the back line.
Yeah, a lot of injured horsemen there, and they're just trying to get away, trying to save those, maybe do some more damage to reinforcing units. But Myriad with a strong army here right outside of Magic space. You take a look at the military numbers right now, 26-8, and Myriad in such a strong position at this point.
Yeah, his numbers, it's just a numbers game at this point, 26-10, and frankly, he needs the Myriad just needs to keep pushing here, and he probably could take the win. Magic just needs to hold, finds a way to hold and stabilize this, but that's really hard to do when you're getting your Desert Raiders sniped out, but you need those Desert Raiders to get the debuff on the Chevys, but you just can't seem to get that composition working for you, mostly just because you're just outnumbered.
Yeah, and Myriad doing such a good job at using those archers to just pick them off one by one as they join the ranks. You can see those Chevys now just focused, disrupting that dock, shutting down 2 of those fishing ships. Magic with those injured horsemen from earlier, their task now is to take a look at the pawns on the map, see if they can get some damage in, some harassment. Magic about to lose potentially another Desert Raider. Maybe we'll be able to get him out. Those archers in front, not able to connect, but the focus is now on the gold mine.
This is such a difficult spot for Magic right now. He's slowly being hedged out from the fishing. He can't really get out of his base. He can't deal with this mass. He's trying to get these Chevys on their own. It's the Archer mass, though, of Myriad that's making this so difficult to do.
It's been such good positioning, too, to be able to get those archers in a safe spot, prevent the horsemen from coming around and surrounding them while using them to just pick off those Desert Raiders one by one. Chevy's in a great place. They've been where they need to be.
The berries have just run out now for Magic. I don't know how many sheep he has left, but doesn't look like he's got really anything under there. So now he has almost no food left. I mean, he's got like 1 sheep carcass. There is some deer up on the north side there. Maybe he could sneak out and get some. But rams being placed down. Myriad smells blood in the water. He knows he's got a pretty big advantage at this point in the game, as it's been all feudal age so far.
And another engagement. Chevy's coming in, crashing into that army. We'll try to see those archers pick off the Desert Raiders, get rid of that debuff. Archer on Archer now. Horsemen trying to come around and surround Myriad's archers, but there just aren't enough units for Magic at this point. Those horsemen are going to be taken out, and it's another military loss right now for Magic here.
And there's not really any recourse for this, you know. If Magic maybe was able to bank some extra gold, some extra food, maybe he could make a quick castle play or something. Maybe try and get some Camel Lancers. That's the answer right now, is Camel Lancers. Like, that's what he needs. They can deal with the archers. He could deal with the Chevys. Unfortunately, they're locked behind Castle Age, and he's got no way to get there. I mean, he's spending everything he has into horsemen, which are very food-heavy units. And every time he loses one, he's just getting that much further behind.
Certainly, yeah, no opportunity to try to even save for Castle with all of this military right outside of his base. A couple of pilgrims get sniped down, but Myriad still with that ram and the large army, now forcing Magic off of that gold mine and pushing even more into the base. Horsemen being taken out, looking for some damage on the docks, looking to torch down what they can. But this base is exposed. Those villagers are exposed as the TC is just about full, and the Chevys can just run through, find some targets. You can see those wood villagers running away from the archers, but they are going to get picked off, and it's a massacre on the wood line here.
Myriad just ramping up the pressure, and this is why KT is so good on these hybrid water maps. They can just get aggressive early, keep your feet to the coals, and just keep going. The pressure ends up crushing Magic in game number 1 as Myriad takes an early lead.
Yeah. Frisian Marches, KT very strong, very favored there. Myriad played it well, able to secure that first win. Anything that jump out at you in that last game?
I think the tricky thing is Ayyubids needed to get... the only way you can maybe make this work is you got to get more aggressive and more raids. I mean, he kind of didn't really get onto those pilgrims until very late. And the other thing is, I was mentioning just a little bit ago, he needed camel lancers, but that's locked behind Castle Age. So you got to find a way to kind of get up to Castle, get those camel lancers out, then you can deal with the composition. But unfortunately, KT's just that good. It's just that good in Feudal Age, especially into Ayyubids. The Desert Raiders just aren't enough. And we just saw that, Myriad was able to leverage that into a win.
Yeah, with all that pressure from minute 1, those 6 spears in the Dark Age to just harass the gold, shut down those docks, force Magic to send a villager all the way up north, trying to hide some docks wherever he could, really stop the Ayyubids from getting any safe economy, any good economy online.
Well, and give credit to Myriad as well. I see we got the names and pictures mixed up there, but give credit to Myriad, who's right below me, actually, is this photo. He did a really good job of scouting where those docks were at, Normally, when you're under duress like that, I think it is a really good idea to try and sneak out and get some resources, like on that northern corner dock. I think that was actually a really good play by Magic. Unfortunately, Myriad just was really on top of scouting. We saw that cost Myriad in his game against Puppy Paw yesterday, early on. But today, using the scout, seeing what's on the map, and then reacting to it really quickly really paid off for him.
Yeah, your advantage of KT is going to be, you've got that wood economy. You're going to be dropping docks. So if you're able to just get out there with that Dark Age massive spears and just make it hell for your opponent to establish their own fishing, you've got the secure economy. They don't. You've got the pressure, the tempo, the advantage there. Magic on the back foot, looking for something. Myriad doing such a good job in those fights as well, keeping those archers alive, able to snipe out the Desert Raiders, able to prevent those horsemen from really getting a surround onto the archers to whittle down those numbers. Just great positioning. Very well played by Myriad.
And a quick game, too. 15 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. We've got game 1 under our belts now here on day number 2. And, one thing I'm thinking about, too, is that in this instance, I feel like you really saw the disparity of the civs, where KT is just known for being pretty much S tier on water, as opposed to Ayyubids, which maybe is okay on water, but not the best, right? Not next to KT. And when these two players are just so close together in skill, I think you start seeing the disparity of the civs being more accentuated here. Whereas in the hands of when you see Puppy Paw playing against maybe one of these players in a disadvantageous matchup, Puppy Paw sometimes out of pure skill can maybe close that gap. Here, when the skill gap is right there, the Civ matters a lot more, I think.
Yeah. KT, Virgin Marshes.
Yeah.
He was able to
Feels
secure
like
that in his draft. Paying off for him. We're going to go Mongols and Zushi coming up on the next map here.
I got to say, I'm really liking Myriad's draft so far and the Civ choices. I mean, KT on a hybrid water map, great. Mongols on prairie, pretty great. I mean, that's a pretty good Civ choice. Zushi as well can't be discounted, though.
I believe we are going to Cliffside next. If I recognize that.
Is that not prairie?
I believe prairie's on the right.
Is that not Dry Arabia? What are we looking at? Help me out, Cal. Help me out, Cal. We're getting our wires crossed. Cal's going to come and tell us. That's prairie, right? Okay, it's prairie. Okay. I'm not crazy. You had me confused there. You got me all crossed up.
Mongols on Cliffside is what's going on?
Yeah, no. I'd say Mongols on prairie makes total sense. Great. That's why I'm really liking this from Myriad. I think this is a really good choice. Zushi, I think, could go pro scouts and do something as well. Again, the lack of wood, though, I feel like Mongols can do a lot here.
Yeah, it is, I think every time prairies come up, you got Mongols in the mix as a Civ available. Yeah. You're going to see it come out here. We did see yesterday in the series with Puppy Paw and Magic. Magic was able to deal with the Mongols on this map. Magic was able to get into the trade, shut that down, prevent that from happening. We'll see. It wasn't exactly what Puppy Paw wanted to go for over the course of that game. It would build in that market. It wasn't a silver tree. It was kind of a little audible to, start that trade, especially when you're facing the Malians and all of their eco. Not sure if it'll be the same in this matchup. You got that Mongols aggression, the tower dropping from minute 1 here, because on Prairie you've got that giant gold mine. If you're able to shut that down, you make it very, very hard for the other player. Especially, you got a map like Prairie, hard to wall off, super open. You get Keshiks running all around the place, able to just get in on villagers, get out, take those picks here and there.
I'm almost a little bit shocked not to see HRE picked and see Zushi instead on this map, because HRE is just such a good choice on Prairie. I'm wondering if maybe the Mongols is what maybe convinced him to go into Zushi instead. Maybe he knew that Mongols was probably the choice on this map, so then maybe he thinks, maybe not HRE, maybe I go for something different, maybe Zushi's his choice instead. If we get a live look at the players there as they're getting ready to dive into the next game. Looks like it's coming up here in just a couple seconds.
Yep, loading into game 2. Go into Prairie. We've got Myriad up in this series 1-0. It's been a close one. We're looking at a great series. We're likely looking at this one to go the distance, but we'll see. Myriad might surprise us all and just roll on through here.
Diving into game number 2. I didn't realize Prairie had so much elevation difference here.
Yeah, I think with all the maps, I've heard a lot of people talking about, like, I didn't know there were just so many hills.
It's so hilly.
These.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot flatter. It looks this angle really puts into perspective.
All right, loading in on Prairie, we can see Myriad in the yellow on the eastern side here, and Magic, Zushi in the northwest. See all those sheep on the map.
So many.
Our little sheep icon overlay showing you exactly where those are located. Prairie with a few more sheep than normal.
That's understating it a little bit. That's a lot. Let's say there's a lot of extra sheep on this map.
I'd agree with you there.
So Zushi's, the one good thing about Zushi on this map is Zushi is very, kind of like Delhi, it's very food dependent. Food is just such a driving force for Zushi in particular, and when the food runs out is when things can get really, really rough, much like Delhi, as I said. On this map, we see Zushi often go for pro scouts. Here, you've already got such a surplus of sheep. I don't feel like it's as dire of a need to do that right off the bat. It opens up the door for some other ways to play, I think, although they could still obviously go for a pro scout play and then double up on the food and then be set for a very, very long time, which could be good and necessary when there's not a ton of wood, so maybe you don't look to farm transition at all, and maybe you want to close the game before you hit that point.
Yeah, very tricky, very, very hard to spend the wood. You can see there's barely any wood lines on this map. But you also see that tower rush coming in, the 2 spears, the villager, making their way across the map, looking for that large gold mine just outside of the TC of Magic here.
Yeah, and not very close, is it? That gold
those
vein,
fills are exposed.
just outside the range. We've seen Puppy Paw had a really close gold to his TC last time. This one for Magic, just outside the range. This is going to bode very well for Myriad. This is 2 games in a row. He's been Dark Age aggressing. Obviously with Mongols, that's to be expected, but man, twice in a row, he's picking some very aggressive strategies, really trying to take it to him.
Absolutely, and Meditation Gardens coming in. You can see it on the large stone, the berries in the back of the base. Outpost on the way up, 3 spears. There are 5 on the map, so there's 3 here now with that villager escorting. We got 2 more on the way. Looking to shut down that large gold mine here, that outpost. About a third of the way complete. Meditation Gardens just another 35 seconds from that completion until Zushi is able to get up to the feudal, able to build something that can push this tower away and open that gold mine back up.
The good news for Zushi here is that gold is not only mined through the rocks, right? They've got the taxes, so it's not like this is going to end his gold supply entirely. So this is not necessarily like a win condition here. It's not going to shut him down. It just slows him down is what this is.
For sure, and you can see the Bills running away. They know that outpost is coming up. Their time on that gold mine is done.
I kind of wish he'd put that tower just a little closer to that wood line as well. That being such a critical resource here on top of things. Yeah, like right there. I would have maybe gotten just a little more aggressive. You got the spears there. You could have maybe scooted that a little closer and covered the wood as well.
Yeah, to be able to shut down, because there's, like we've been saying, there's not a lot of wood on this map. So if you're able to shut down those little pockets with the tower, it's going to pay off big time.
Tax is being generated here from that. We also got a pretty decent, I'd like to see the numbers on those meditation gardens. Big stone. Looks like we got the berries. Is there anything else? Just maybe a bit of wood? Just a little bit of wood.
One wood.
I would have liked to see that pushed a little further out as well, you know, because could have maybe gotten more of those wood trees in there.
Yeah, the timing of when you get that up, how safe you can keep it.
Yeah, I
There
got
is
about
a
there.
spot,
Yeah.
to grab a few more of those trees.
Just got to touch the corner of the stone in the influence to get it. So if you can just kind of angle that. I know with Mongols, though, being aggressive, you got to be kind of careful. And so that's probably the thought process there. But maybe you could have optimized that just a little bit more.
So deer stones on the way up for Myriad here. Not a big surprise.
I think this is the right choice. I know it's tempting to want to go for Silver Tree here with the trade being what it is on this map, but I think you take a page out of Puppy Paw's book and build a market later when you can. I don't think you rely on the trade here. I think Deerstones is just fine, and that's been the meta anyways.
Absolutely. So stable completes. Magic is getting set up here. You can see first Palace Guard in the queue. Got a horseman out on the field as well, just looking to get rid of that outpost. Shut that down as the Khan comes around the back of that wood line.
Just so little damage. It's so annoying. But
get that hawk out, start making those attack pings.
Deerstones is up. Both players now in the feudal age, and the action starts to unfold. Khan getting a little close to the TC, doesn't get a shot off though. And again, there's so much food that you're feeling pretty comfortable for the time being. We do see already in the works an outpost. Magic knows he needs to stay on the wood. He knows he can't mine that wood all the way because that tower does just kind of touch the wood line to the north. But getting some wood to the south there, as long as he can hold on to a wood line, he should be okay. As he's got some spears coming out of his own, along with some palace guards.
Yep, just looking to get a little bit of defense here. Palace Guards meeting in the middle of the map. Looking to get some pressure back onto Myriad as the stable is down for the Mongols as well. And now an outpost looking to defend his own gold. Archery range in the works as well for Myriad as Magic is starting that trickle of units into the center of the map.
And this is where Zushi can get very dangerous very quickly. Is they can really in feudal age really ramp things up. As we see, he's going out on the gold, immediately spotted by the Khan. So he does need to go get some. Taxes are great, but they don't sustain a long fight. You do need to get some more. And we do see the Keshiks already running towards that position right now. Magic pushing in though with his units, trying to get aggressive. He might need to bring those units home though, because those Keshiks are heading straight towards the tower. He does have at least a horseman there to defend. As the Khan sees it and is running away, that Khan might just go down. That horseman just needs to get 1 or 2 hits and it's down.
Yeah, and that poke right there should do it. Khan falling down, but Keshik now into the wood line. Good positioning to block from a potential garrison, and that's 1 villager down.
Almost should have been 2, but instead he goes for the IO.
Almost get that. See the spears coming to the middle of the map, and we're going to have a little engagement there. Keshik getting out, but the spears in position. They're going to be caught by the Palace Guards and the spears of Zhu Shi, so they're not going to be able to do much at this point. It's going to have to head south and find another angle while those Keshik potentially can run around the base. They've also retreated. A couple of hits on the Palace Guard, but there are just too many spears for a further engagement.
I really like Magic's comp here. Adding a couple spears to deal with the Keshik, but then also throwing the Palace Guards and some horsemen. That makes Myriad's composition very difficult to work with. Yeah, you got some archers for the spears. Yeah, you've got some spears for the horsemen, and you got some Keshik. It just feels like your 1-1-1 split isn't as good as Magic's 1-1-1. Those Palace Guards are a very difficult unit to deal with. Obviously, the Keshiks would be the best answer, but when they start popping out in mass, you just don't have any good answer for them.
Yeah, it's so hard to get those Keshik onto the Palace Guards with the amount of spears that are there. A couple of charges coming in, couple of hits. Palace Guards lagging behind the pack, but one of those Keshiks will be sniped out by the spears.
Myriad repositioning here a little bit, and now Magic's feeling pretty comfortable. He's got a ton of food under the TC. He's got access to the wood. He's gotten rid of the tower. He's now got a secondary gold vein he's on. Things are looking pretty comfortable overall.
Yep, and we do see Little shift in Myriad, a little heavier focus on archers coming out, 9 on the field. A couple more Keshik in the queue as he looks to take a bore on the map.
Those archers in Keshik are pretty much just because of the Palace Guards. You know, you need a lot of those to actually start whittling them away. The scary part is if those Palace Guards ever get in mass and get that critical mass going, they become very dangerous. Thankfully for Myriad, there's only 7 of them for Magic right now. But something he's got to keep an eye on is, again, we see some towers coming up. I was going to say, raiding becomes an option now for Magic.
Yeah, he's got the units, but I'm taking a look at his resources. Also a pivot to the castle age pretty soon. Myriad not close to that, just securing the boar. Maybe starting to add some pressure with pockets of Keshik across the map. See Magic seeing that gold mine. Myriad able to get those villagers to safety before any damage could be done, besides a little idle time.
I expect Castle Age to drop for Magic here any second now. Oh, just about there. He does have, of course, the cheaper age up. And then Myriad's going to be in a kind of a tough spot here. He's got a decent-sized military, but so does Magic, and he's got Palace Guards. And once he gets into Castle Age, that's when Zushi's really going to come alive. And Mongols is just not going to have an answer for Castle Age men-at-arms. Those Palace Guards in Castle Age, they're quick, they're tanky, they deal pretty good damage. I mean, what are you going to do? What's your counter for that? And the Keshiks just won't be enough.
No, and especially you got the Zushi Knights coming in as well. Once they get to Castle, you can see the other stable under construction, and Myriad just can't force the attack on that gold any longer. Those Keshik not able to do anything to the villagers, going to have to run away as Magic does hit the Castle Age.
Myriad needs to get some work done right now. He needs to do some serious damage to slow down Magic, because he's nowhere near Castle Age.
And he'll be looking for little pockets here and there, something he can hit, and IO would be a nice pickup here.
Taking that tower down, if he actually burns down that village, that could be really good at slowing down Magic as well.
Another raid on Myriad's gold here. Magic coming in. There's not enough room for all those vills.
I think he clicked onto the Gur. That's not ideal. You wanted to get on the villagers, not the Gur. Meanwhile, though, he's dealing with raids in his own base as the units of Myriad just decide to take down everything they see right there. Now going on towards the village.
We got Knights in production. We got a Shaolin Monk now looking to secure relics for Magic here. Just a time to stand back, defend. Wood camp going down. Gonna lose that village, but that's not going to be an issue. It's got population room for days. Shaolin Monk on the field, about to snag that relic.
Keshik's looking for anything they can find that moves to kill. Not going to find any vills there, though. It looks like they've already vacated the premise.
Yep, they're just going to heal back up.
Oh, man, these raids. Magic with these raids is doing so much damage here, just idling out Myriad's economy while already being an age ahead with a comparable military size. This is really tenuous for Myriad. He is going to be in a tough spot.
Yeah, and it's pretty crazy. Those horsemen come in, able to pressure the villagers, and then right behind that, you got those 2 knights. Should have no issue dealing with the Keshik.
And Myriad was going really heavy into Archer, and now Magic just pumping out the Lancers. And they can deal with both the Keshiks and the Archers. Really, it's the Spears that they have to be worried about, and there's just not a lot of those for Myriad right now.
And the numbers are there for Myriad, so those Lancers are going to have to go home. Establishment of the armies in the middle of the base, but Myriad looking for a target himself, coming in on that initial gold mine. I only see 1 spear there for defense. Those vills are going to be pulled back. Military coming out now to defend that gold mine, but a little bit more idle time there.
There's been lots of idle time, but there's not been a lot of killing, essentially. The eco kills, it's only 1 to 2. I'm actually surprised those numbers are so low.
Yeah, able to get units to safety, able to get your defensive spears and such in the right place.
Oh,
but there's a raid. Those Keshiks are on the villagers, and those are not running to safety. They're getting a bunch of hits in, and there's the vill kill count. Oh, Magic losing a lot of villagers here. Those Keshik just hanging in there, doing as much as they can. Only taking hits, it looks like, from Palace Guards. They've been able to survive for quite some time. They've picked up I want to say 15, maybe 14, 15 villagers that were on the gold.
That was a huge blow. That was the kind of blow Myriad was looking at to get back into this game because as it was, you were just so even and your opponent was ahead in age. There wasn't anything going on. Now you're just picking off things left and right. But meanwhile, Magic trying to recoup those numbers. We could see the graph there, a huge blow dealt. That's the kind of thing that could decide a game.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple more stragglers go down as well. That's a massive blow to Magic's economy here. Myriad feeling a little bit more comfortable in his position after that amazing raid. But Magic's got a raid of his own coming in onto the Mongols' gold. Not going to be able to find some vills. Got the spears in position. Myriad with the counterattack, though, pushing into Magic's base. Those gold vills will be idled, but those lancers are not going to find that much in terms of kills.
Myriad's in a really good position all of a sudden. He finds himself down in age, but now he finds himself economically ahead. And even though there are the IOs, he's killed an IO. He's done a really good job of getting onto the villagers now. That raid really did save him here, because when you're committing to Feudal Age into Castle, you've got to make this right here happen. Keep your opponent in your base. We see that right now, the front line dealing with the Palace Guards. Archers picking them off one by one, trying to get him. Looks like they're 2 or 3 shotting each one.
Myriad just able to take this fight under the TC, has the military numbers, able to thin out Magic's military numbers. Those archers staying alive yet again, able to do damage, pick out spears when possible. Keshiks go down. Myriad will be forced to retreat, but he picks up a lot of kills on Magic's military.
Yeah, that was a pretty good trade. You dealt a big blow to a lot of those Lancers. Most of the Palace Guards, though, got really thinned out. There are still 10 Lancers on the field. That is still very scary. He needs to pump out some more of those spears as quick as he can, but he traded out a lot of them right there.
And we do have another raid on that boar being gathered earlier, but Myriad looking for another push himself. Looking to just pick off some more units. Another Palace Guard goes down, forcing Magic back to the TC. Those villagers that were gathering boar, though, they're going to be slaughtered by the Lancers, and that's a really good pickup from Magic there. Look at that, almost evening up the eco kills.
Yeah, Magic is doing exactly what you need to do in this position as well. Both these players know the game. Magic trying to recoup the losses, as it were, and doing a good job with the Lancers. And that's the benefit of being Castle Age here and having that mass already out, is that those things are tough to deal with if you're trying to get them out of your base. Archers diving through the TC, losing a lot of mass here. Myriad really after those villagers.
Yeah, that thing with the Lancers being on the board, it meant that they weren't at home to defend, and just as I had said that Magic had evened up the eco kills, Myriad able to get a lot of picks with that push of Archers and Keshik into Magic's base.
He does trade his military for it, though. That Archer mass is no more. The question is now, can Myriad replicate that? He has almost no military. In fact, both these players don't have a lot left. The difference is Magic has 7 Lancers. The high-value stuff for Magic is still on the field, whereas Myriad has lost the high-value units he had. He's got a couple Keshik, he's got the big Archer mass, which is really doing the most damage for him. That pure DPS is now gone. And the question is, can he recoup that? Can he get that back on the field? Can he get the Castle Age? What does he do next? Because these Lancers are about to be a real issue. As if they haven't already been so far for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's making Keshiks, he's making spears, he's back into military production, but take a look at the resources per minute. Like, that raid on Magic basically shut down that economy. So he does have Lancers on the field. He needs to get a lot of value out of them, because he's not going to be able to reinforce for quite some time.
More value with the Keshiks. This is so good from Myriad here. Knowing he's got a couple of these guys left, he can still make something happen. Getting some more villagers picked off. Keeping the pressure up. This has been a really aggressive game both ways.
Yeah, and the villagers that are alive and remaining for Magic are all garrisoned, basically.
You know, when we talk about the meta being very aggressive right now, this is what we point at. Like, there's no 2 TC shenanigans going on. There's barely even a fast castle shenanigans. It's all just aggression. Aggression, and we're seeing that go both ways here.
Yeah, it's that pressure. It's that setting the tempo of the game. Myriad feeling really strong when he is able to get that aggression going early game.
If Myriad ever can leverage this into a Castle Age, he'd be so far ahead as he pops the Deer Stones right in front of the tower, saying, hey, this is my base now. Diving in with more villager kills.
Yeah, those Lancers have to pull around to try to just pick up reinforcements. They can't engage with all these spears here. All they can do is just run around, look for a pick here and there, because Magic doesn't really have the food to keep that reinforcement going. I know there are 2 in the queue right now, but it's been so hard for him to be able to field another army after all those eco losses.
Well, and after these berries, he's got no food. So this is kind of it. And again, like I mentioned too, that the tricky thing with Zhu Shi is that once you run out of food, you don't have an easy transition. You know, you really don't.
Especially on prairie, where wood
There's
is,
just no
and
wood.
farms
Yeah.
are just not really an option here. Myriad pushing out onto the map, looking to take the berries right into center there. Magic's Lancers, though, just not able to find any valid targets. They're running into Myriad's army. They're getting picked off. He's losing 1 or 2 here and there. He's got a bigger group, though. We'll see if he can scout out those berries. That'd be a huge gain if he's able to get over there, because Myriad doesn't have a lot of spears in the area. No towers to defend, nothing for those vills to
This is
hide
going to be
in.
huge.
Here's the engagement. Oh, he's going to get a lot of picks, potentially. I say that as he only gets
It's
about
like 2. Got
As
the charge off.
spears get here.
Didn't quite get the body block. He's only got like 6, 7 Lancers. And meanwhile, he's got this to contend with. Every time he deals a punch, Myriad deals another haymaker.
Yeah, it's blow and counter blow. You know, you're in there, you get a couple of vills, you look back over, and oh yeah, they're just cashing.
And there's your IO
Roman,
down. Yep.
Free on my gold, and here they come in on the berries now. And those villagers are going to have to be idle yet again.
At this point, I don't think Magic's even going to consider Castle Age. I think he's got such a military advantage right now. You just keep the pressure up and keep raiding, keep raiding. It's 17 to 36 villager kills.
Yeah, the investment into military just hasn't stopped. Doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon here. Magic just looking for any advantage, anything he can do to disrupt the eco of the Mongols. Able to get on the berries before, but the military was just right there, able to shut that down. You do have Lancer that was in the back, looking to pressure the gold, but it's just too well defended. And Magic gonna have to come way out, take the berries off to the side of his base, while Myriad builds a ram and is looking to just knock on the door and blow it down.
I think he can do it too. 41 units to 12. Magic's got Lancers, which are good. There's a ram exposed. It's going to get some good damage on that, but in come the spears, and the Lancers just cannot stay there. They have to back up.
Ram just able to get out of there with a couple of HP. Almost died, but the push may come in very soon here. Magic with not a lot of units to defend, and anything that he does have, he can't be out raiding at the moment. It's all hands on deck back at the base to just try to stop this death push.
Myriad almost outnumbers Magic's military 5 to 1 right now. Just absolute domination on the battlefield. And the Lancers, all they can do is hop in the tower. They can't even go out and fight. They just be instantly wiped out by the spears.
Yeah, too many spears, and those Lancers, some of those at low health, just taking the chip damage from the archers as well as they run around, and Magic dropping back, needing to defend this pack of berries, but he's not going to be able to with the numbers there, and with what Myriad's bringing in. Those vills are going to get cleaned up from the archers in the back, the spears and the Keshik in the front to deal with the military. They'll rotate around. Myriad looking to clean this up, and I don't think Magic really has a place to go after.
And that's game as the last of the Lancers fall. Game number 2 goes to Myriad up with a 2-0. Are we going to see a 3-0 on our hands here? We were saying this is going to go the distance, and now I'm starting to think Caster's Curse might strike again. I mean, Myriad is looking really good here.
Yeah, looking very strong in the first 2 games. I know in the qualifiers, Myriad faced a couple of heartbreaks with some reverse sweeps there. So that is still on the table. Not set in stone just yet for this first series of the day. Myriad taking it 2-0 so far as we move on to the next map here.
Man, there was like a window where I thought Magic being Castle Age was going to be able to do something with those Lancers, and he was. I think the tricky thing was Myriad just chose the perfect time to raid. I mean, that raid on the gold, that big 8K gold where he got 15 vills like right there, that felt like the difference. If he hadn't have gotten that, if maybe Magic could have pulled those away right as it was coming in, he might have been able to have enough eco to propel himself into Castle Age. But that stunted his Castle Age and his progression there and let Myriad really just get back into that game, because he was, I think, behind at that point up until that raid.
Absolutely devastating blow.
You can see it right there on the graph, man.
Yeah, all those gold villagers going down, and now with the more expensive units, with those Lancers that he get to Castle Age 4, you don't have as strong of an economy to build that back up. And every time it felt like that Magic was on the map, getting some raids, getting some Vil kills, Myriad was right there, basically just one-upping him. Like, oh, you got this raid, you took a couple of villagers, I already have some Keshiks on your gold again.
I've just killed twice as many
focus
Vils.
on this, yeah.
Exactly. And you know, give credit to Magic. He was really doing the best he could to try and get the raids back. He did do some good damage, too. It's just, I mean, that one raid on the gold really set the tempo. Had that not happened, the raids would have been tit for tat. But when you're just getting 16 freebies almost, it's so hard to recover from that when you're so early on in Castle Age.
So brutal. That was certainly the raid that may have tipped the game into Myriad's favor.
And now if you're Myriad, this is a must-win now. This is win or be eliminated. So the pressure is on. Magic, I should say, is on an elimination game now. Myriad's looking like way at a game from moving on. This is high pressure here for Magic.
And Myriad's he's got the momentum on his side, but Magic still could be able to come back. Reverse sweep this is certainly not out of the question. It's all going to come down to how Game 3 shakes out between these two players.
23 minutes on the dot. That's very satisfying to see. Some fairly quick games, too. None of these have gone terribly long yet.
Yeah, it's been that early pressure that seems to decide it. I mean, Myriad's been doing such a good job of preventing Magic from really getting that economy online and keeping the pressure up, forcing Magic to respond and maybe not play the game that he wants to at that point.
It's an aggressive meta. We've been saying that. Do you think we'll ever see a 2TC meta, like a economy boom meta, come back? I feel like it's been a very long time.
It's been a bit. I prefer the more aggro meta.
I mean, I think most people do.
I love seeing spears coming out, mixing it up in the Dark Age. I absolutely love that.
Abyssid mains are in shambles right now.
Yes. Not doing so hot
Not
at
their
the
day.
moment.
Not their day.
But yeah, anything that, any sort of meta that prioritizes earlier engagements, more interactions between the players is something that I like and appreciate. And I think a lot of people watching too, getting that action as soon as possible.
It's a little more easy to commentate than, oh, hey, he's got 2 town centers. He's got double the villagers now.
Oh, and we've got a replay of that last game. And
look at that corner down there. Yeah, the big raid right here. This was the game decider, I think. I mean, just look at that. Body blocking right there, the late pull. I don't even think Magic ever pulled any of the Vils. In fact, he looks like he pulled out the Shivs at one point with them, too. Just so many. And there's not a lot of room to work with. It's hard to micro this, but just look at all those dead villagers.
And taking a look at it, too, just the units that are engaging, it looks like, for the most part, it's those palace guards hitting the
Takes too long to take them down.
While the spears are just trying to get their hits in, but not able to slow them down. And, yeah, this other brutal push from Myriad, able to pick up a lot of values, a lot of Vil kills. This was right after Magic was able to take out 15 of Myriad's Vils, and was basically a counterpunch at this point.
Yeah, and these archers right here, I'm looking at them, they were two-shotting the palace guards at that point, which is when you can do that with that critical mass, walk in, two-shot, palace guard goes down, and you're under your opponent's TC, you're feeling really confident when you're able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And these towers holding villagers for a long time. You can see the Lancers running in there at this point of the game, just trying to keep them safe and away from the spears, trying to at least just have some military on the field to defend the berries over on the left side for the eventual push, but just not enough units to stop that. Myriad walks away with Game 2.
Game 2. I'm surprised this is, maybe I shouldn't be surprised, but I kind of thought we'd be at a 1-1 by this point. I just figured it'd be really, really even down the line, but Magic now with one last shot to make this. He's going to be on the ropes the entire time, It's going to be elimination game after elimination game for him from here on out. Myriad just needs one more. One of 3 is basically what he needs to do.
Just 1 of 3. We are going to the Rockies for the next map. We got Myriad piloting the Rus and Magic with the Malians. We saw Magic with the Malians yesterday, taking a win off Puppy Paw there on Prairie. We'll see how he does against the Rus on Rockies.
Malians are a really good civ on this map, I feel like. It's because they're not very mobile, right? They don't usually go for a very mobile composition. They do have sofas, and they can use that, but oftentimes you see Donzos and you see Javelin Throwers, which against Rus is what I'd expect to see. You're going to have a lot of Donzos to counter the early Knights, and the Jav Throwers for Horse Archers and for everything else like it. So not a very mobile army, but on a map that's only 2/3 the size, that really does help because you don't need to move as much. So I feel like Malians is just so good. As we see underneath the Rockies, getting a little sneak peek of what that looks like. And then here we are. This is what Denver kind of is like up here in the mile-high city.
Yeah, I no-clipped myself to get to the stadium today. Yeah, I'm anticipating a lot more early pressure from Myriad as well, looking to shut down the Malians before they can get their game up and rolling. I think that's going to be the key for sure. As we zoom in here, we got Magic on the left side in the red. It's Malians, Myriad in the top right side in the yellow as the Rus.
This is an interesting spawn here for Malians. All the gold is on that south side. We got 1, 2, 3, all kind of in a row there in the bottom corner. That one in the very back should be pretty easy to contain. But those two on the far side out there, that's pretty much open pickings for Myriad as Rus. The nice thing is, though, you have a pretty safe wood line as Magic. He's got really good wood line right there, and that is actually very vital for Malians. They really do need wood.
Absolutely, and I'd be really happy if I was Magic getting the side that I'm on, because you can see Myriad's gold is just way out in front, and that could potentially have been just a nightmare for the Malians.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Look at that, all the gold just all together, easy to pressure, easy to shut down.
I'm curious what that hunting cabin right next to the TC. I'm curious as to we got that one there. I'm curious what the one on that one is. 19 and 19, only 19. Okay, I wonder if those straggler trees would have added a bit more there, but I guess not. Golden Gate coming right up there. Nothing unexpected. Mansaquari also not unexpected. I don't think I've seen the Sultani Trade Network in some time in 1v1s.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've only seen it busted out when the initial gold mine is under pressure.
Yeah.
You just need
desperation choice at that point.
Protect that.
Pretty much standard stuff here, not much to comment on. 3 minutes in, getting some sheep in. I imagine the question is then, what does Myriad want to do to slow down Magic's cow boom? Because that's kind of what it comes down to. The passive resources, you have to slow it down. Early Knights are a pretty good choice. It's going to come down to, can Myriad keep those early Knights alive? If you start losing them to the Donzos, you're going to be getting yourself into a pretty big hole pretty quick.
For sure. And we're also taking a look at the deer packs on the map. The Pro Scouts, we do have that deer pack very close to the Malians, but the other ones, I mean, there's
Those
one
three,
just
yeah.
right on the front doorstep of Myriad. Other deer's going to be hard for Magic to contest the distance away from the Malian base that they are.
Yeah, it looks like Myriad, if he wants to go for it, he really could get, I think, 3 of the 4 packs and maybe even a bit of that 4th one. He could get kind of sneaky if they start fighting for that south one. I bet Myriad could just kind of go over the north side and take that one right next to the Magic's base. So that's definitely a good chance to go for Pro Scouts.
You can see Myriad Scout coming in, able to see where the gold mines are for the Malians, able to see the initial one set up in the back. Now, there's not a lot of tree lines around that. It's going to be harder to wall off and keep those gold veins safe.
That's a
Malians.
wide open door. That's
Very exposed.
like that one in the back, he could probably angle some military and get the Donzos there eventually, but those further 2 down to the south corner, man, that's going to be, Magic's going to have his work cut out for him. But we've seen time and time again, though, I say this, but we've seen time and time again, the gold is great, but what really ends up winning it for the Malians is going to be the passive food from the cow boom. If Magic can make this game go on to Castle Age, I think he can pull it through.
It's going to be an opening for a barracks coming out for Myriad. Barracks on both sides here.
That's anticipating the early Knights. Got to get some Donzos out. I imagine we'll see some Javelin throwers coming out later as well. I'm surprised I don't see a stable, though, for... I guess we don't need a stable. He's got the hunting cabins. So we see Pro Scouts coming up right now for Myriad.
In the queue, scout count currently at 3. Both players have either Donzo or Spear in the queue. Initial one's coming out right now, looking to play those deer packs. Magic in a position to try to just shut those down, prevent Myriad from getting those deer back, having kind of a comparable eco.
Pro Scouts is in now. We got 4 Scouts for Myriad, as we mentioned.
Donzo going to chase away those scouts, just being annoying on the gold mine there, as Magic's able to come out and take the second one.
I mean, I'm looking at that second gold mine. It does feel like it's kind of far, but at the same time, you put a big mass of Donzos right there, and there's not a whole lot that Myriad's going to be able to do about that for some time.
And the first couple of scouts pulling back some of the deer. We got a Danzo on spear action, which is going to allow 2 of those scouts to take the far deer, secure those for Myriad. A couple more. I think he was taken from the close deer pack there.
Yeah, I grabbed the quick ones there. Secure those and then start moving out. We do see, looks like there's a Danzo heading to the northern deer pack for Magic. No, he's just going to go straight out. Those are villagers. Okay, he's just going to go and try and claim them for himself. I actually like that play. Take them while you have them.
Yep, because they are not going to be around for
No,
too much
won't.
longer. Yeah, a couple being taken from the far pack. That one way over on the east hasn't been touched quite yet.
In games like this, there's like a couple small skirmishes here and there, but there's not usually a whole lot going on for the first 10 minutes. These Danzos, though, trying to get that scout down. They've thrown their spears, and in come the spears for Myriad. Just in time to body block, but a scout goes down anyways. Oh, a great pick for Magic there.
Yeah,
every little bit.
Pickup. Absolutely. I thought those spears were there at the perfect timing, but Magic able to get one more hit on the scout, and now there's enough Danzo to force Myriad to be a little more wary about taking this engagement. It is 4-on-3 with the spears. Myriad with 1 reinforcement coming in, but Magics are healthy, and Myriad is dealing with a bunch of damaged spears at the moment.
Only saw our observer point out they get 1 armor, so Danzo's a little tankier. They're a little more expensive, of course, as well, but they can take and stand a fight. I think pound for pound, they win the fight 1-1 against a spear.
And now it's going to be 6-on-4. Magic going to take those Danzo, find somewhere else to be, get a couple of parting shots in with the spear throws.
That's the frustrating thing. You finally catch up and have a clash, and right as you start pulling away, they then throw something at you as you're running away. So you can't even do that. You got to be really careful with how low the health bars go. And it's going to be a second town center play from Myriad here. He's going to go two TC Pro Scouts. I don't know the last time I've seen that.
Yeah, Myriad, who started the series with a lot of aggression, looking for a bigger eco play here, facing the Malians. Looking for something, I mean you got to find a way to get your eco in a position to, keep in pace with the cow boom and the explosive eco of the Malians.
We're seeing this more and more where players are opting to go. They know they just can't do enough damage. You can burn down the houses. You can try and burn the pit mine down. What happens? Malians just build it right back. It just comes right back. It's like you did nothing but maybe make them lose a little bit of wood. So now we're seeing some players kind of opt this 2TC build. It hasn't proven super successful yet. Malians have just been that good. But maybe a Ruse can make this work. With the Pro Scouts behind this, with kind of what they have in their arsenal, getting the second town center up, as long as he can keep some pressure and do some damage to slow Magic down, Myriad could be in a good spot here, but it's going to be contingent on, can you slow down the cow boom on top of that?
And he's dropping an archery range as well. There's still some deer on the right side, although the left is very secure for Magic at the moment. Yeah, handful of them, 4 of them remaining in that pack. We got Myriad hanging out with a couple of corpses with that scout.
Archer's now in the queue here and for Myriad, so he's going to try and counter these Danzos directly. I'm curious when we'll see some javelin throwers from Magic. I'm sure he's probably thinking about it. And we do have an archery range already on the way, so he knows it's coming. He's got both the stable and archery range. Going to be able to answer the call for when those archers arrive. And the first one gets to the field of battle right now for Myriad, trying to pick off of the first Danzo.
And the question's going to be where this game goes from here, as Magic, with 10 cows on the field, just about enough to drop that corral, get up to the castle age.
This is so dangerous. This is why 2TC is so difficult to pull off against this, is you got to keep up with the eco. But by the time you get that going, your opponent's already cow boomed into castle age. It's just so fast.
Taking a look at the economy account, yeah, Magic with those cows right now, with the deer that he's been able to just take manually from that site on the left, staying pretty even on food per minute.
You can see the effect of the Pro Scouts happening right there, that big uptick there for Myriad, keeping pace with Magic. And then this is the other problem with Pro Scouts, is eventually the deer run out. It's not sustainable long term. It just gives you a temporary boost. He does have the 3 tickets as well. Spears on Spears still fighting. We do have an archer for Magic. I'm surprised that's not... I guess the archer kind of counters both Spear and the other archers.
Yeah, jab throwers being a little more expensive. Good military mass for Myriad to keep that pressure up. Just needs to keep those archers alive. Not enough Danzo to take this one-on-one, so he'll have to just back and forth and back and forth. until he's able to get a bigger mass.
Villager lead starting to climb for Myriad, and that's kind of where his win condition. That's why, like, the Pro Scouts is a great addition, but it's not enough. Having the second town center, that can scale, and that's kind of what Myriad's banking on. The tricky thing is it is slower. You're going Pro Scouts into 2TC, and you're building military. Castle Age is forever away. We see he's got 300 gold in the bank right now, and about almost 500 food.
And we see a pretty far forward barracks for Myriad. Looking to secure that boar in that position. Going to be scouted out by Magic as the pressure just continues on that second pit mine. And, you know, with those mines and how they spawned, it's going to be very tricky for Magic to secure that passive gold income over the course of the game.
Yeah, it's going to take some time for Magic to start really feeling the full effect of his Castle Age and of the Cow Boom. We're starting to see he's starting to mass up, but Myriad, just like last game, he's just kind of committing to the Feudal Age. You know, he knows he can't afford to go Castle Age, Pro Scouts, and 2TC. You got to pick a couple and then lean into it. Leaning into the military now, and with the wide open spawn, this is working out fairly okay so far for him.
Yeah, able to get a military unit here and there, do some damage when you can, put that pressure on the second pit mine. Another Danzo goes down. A couple of archers in the mix. We do see Sofa hitting the field, but there are so many spears for Myriad with this group.
You know, if Myriad can get those Danzos off the field of play, he still has early knights he can pull out as well. So if he wants to really commit to Feudal and not worry about saving up for a Castle Age, he can start pumping out some heavier units too and keep pace.
Absolutely. Just 2 veteran Sofa on the field. That second pit mine about to go down. Magic doing what he can to just try to get some sort of military advantage, see if he can get some hits on Myriad's army. But, man, the army count, Myriad just keeps pumping and pumping those units. Magic just does not have the mass here.
Myriad's doing a really good job of not diving too deep. You know, he's not trying to be too greedy and get onto the cows or anything like that. He's just so focused on the pit mine, not going in under the TC where he'll take even more fire, really letting his military advantage stay on the field and not spend it and not be able to replace it. He's doing a good job of keeping that mass alive.
You see that large roost wall coming in just behind the boar. The boar being a great help, something keeping Myriad competitive with the food per minute. You can see he's even bringing in more than Magic is with those cows.
Archer mass getting to a pretty good level here now for Magic. He's definitely going to be able to counter those spears eventually. He's got 20 on the field. There's only a handful of spears left, only 12 spears. Myriad now knowing he needs to back off a little bit. He can't just stay there forever. He got the pit mining down, inflicted some damage. Now pull away. You still have 2 town centers, and you gotta hold now because the Castle Age upgrades are coming in for Magic. He's starting to get a good enough mass where he can stand and fight. And now you really need that defender's advantage. And so Myriad backing up, hoping to hold up and let his eco eventually keep pace.
Yeah, you can see that the archer numbers are just about even, except that Magic's got veteran archers with him. And those veteran Sofa as well forming the front line. Myriad still investing into units here. Looking to just overwhelm
this could be good.
with numbers.
This could be good. Archers open. Horsemen right on top of them. There they are. The surround.
The
And this is
retreat's
gonna be
being
huge.
cut off.
Horsemen just destroying every archer they see. The complete surround, picking off one by one. They just got to run, and the horsemen are just going to keep up with them, taking them down, finding the next big mass. And there's no Danzos in sight. There's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah, the Sofa in the front were getting picked off by the spears of Myriad. So many dead archers. Now the horsemen can freely engage here. Spears coming in, going to be forced back. There looks like a little raid. A couple of Sofa have broken their way into the roost base, looking to pick off some reinforcements. But that was such a huge win for Myriad there. Able to thin out those archer numbers, do some damage to that military, keep Magic in check.
That was positionally brilliant by Myriad. What he did is he pulled his military back. He inflicted the damage, and I was going to ask, did he do enough damage? I wasn't sure. He backs up, baits his opponent in, and then right when he overextends, Myriad pounces with the horsemen on top of the archers. And now there's just, I mean, that's such a blow. That gives him so much more time to keep going. 71 military to 34. And now, yes, that 34 for Magic is of higher quality. But boy, did Myriad just buy himself a ton of time as we see the high trade house coming up right now. He will match the Castle Age. And with 2 TCs, the eco should be fairly even-ish.
Yeah, he's cooking right now, and the military for Myriad in such a great spot. You can see Magic maybe looking for some additional pressure, bringing in that large group of Sofa, but they are not going to be able to do much of anything right now. They're going to have to go home. One Sofa in the back harassing the farms, but spears are there. Sofa doesn't have much HP, so it's not going to be able to do too much of anything. Can't stay and harass for that long with the spears in hot pursuit.
Myriad's doing an excellent job of farm transitioning right now. This is so critical. He bought himself that time with that victory on the battlefield. What he needs to do now is leverage that into the farm transition so he doesn't get caught with his pants down later. So now he's going to have food long term, which is huge because I think the later this game goes, if this were to go to, say, like an Imperial Age, which seems like a lot. I mean, we're only 16 minutes in, but if this were to go late, that will help so much because Rus has a better Imperial Age than Malians do. We do see the imported armor for Sofa coming in, so they've now come online.
Yeah, Magic keeping those Sofa back earlier, just waiting for that upgrade to come in. You can see those horsemen breaking off again, coming out to the flanks, maybe looking for a second surround. A lot of infantry for Myriad just behind that wall. A villager's going to go down before he can complete the wall, but there's a bunch of archers there.
Oh, that's really exposed. Horsemen aren't there, though.
Horsemen are somewhere else, potentially looking for a flank. Here they come again, but there are now more Sofa with the mix.
I love
Archers are way up in front. Sofa's just knocking on the door. They're held up by the gate. Archers coming into the Rus base, and
the archers are trapped! There's nowhere to go! The Sofa were so focused on the wall, they could have walked right in. Instead, onto the archers, the horsemen go. Here come the Sofa now trying to clean up, but now the numbers advantage is going to come in. As we see a surprise, 21 men at arms, Myriad springs his trap. He is in Castlage, and in come the heavy units, decimating what's left of the archers for Magic. Now all that's left is really Sofa, a couple Donzos, and a small group of archers outside the wall, which are now taking tit for tat with what Myriad has. This is a huge fight.
Yeah, spear count is falling for Myriad, but Sofa count is falling even more for Magic, and he's forced to retreat here, losing a lot of archers in that. You can see the Rus shooting over the wall, horsemen coming out, just trying to see if they can get on any of those archers. Men-at-arms in the back line there. But Myriad, I think his army, it looks like it's just mostly archers at this point, but it is enough to force Magic back. Crossbows being added to the mix as well for Myriad, who's focusing on men-at-arms. You see spears, you see horsemen, you see a little bit of everything coming out from him, while Magic is just sitting pretty with a Sofa and archer combo.
Man, what a fight. What a hold from Myriad. It's springing the men-at-arms trap as well. 21 of those guys came bouncing out. He's only got 2 or 3 left. They really exchanged the armies. But now remember, Myriad is 2 TC. He is scaling behind this even still. Whereas the cow boom is 15
Look
to 20.
at the food per minute.
Yeah. 2,200 versus 1,100. I mean, the cow boom's only mostly there. It's at 75%, right? 15 to 20 cows. The difference is the 2TC continues to scale up until about we hit like 110, 115 bills, maybe even a little bit more. The cow boom's kind of done at this point.
A couple more spaces for cows. I think 5 more, but we do have an engagement in the middle of the map here. Myriad pushing forward, forcing Magic on the retreat here. Got the horsemen trying to pick off those archers as best they can. They're going to get them just a little slower than those Sofas, so they are exposed. Archer count falling as soon as the Sofas turn around. Those horsemen are out of there. But a couple more military picks for Myriad here.
Myriad just needs to finish walling up, secure it, and then he's good for the late game. I mean, he's going to be set. You know, the only thing he has to worry about is gold long term. So if I'm Myriad, I'm looking at those 2 gold veins kind of down to the south there. I'm extending that wall down and around, getting those gold secure. That's 4 and 4. That's 8K gold. That could last you another 15 minutes. You secure that part of the map right in front of your base, and you're ready to play for a long game. And Rus, like I said, you get that. You got a lot of options. You know, you could drop a forward Spiskaya if you want to get really aggressive, or if you want to just do the what's the other one called? The armory.
Yep, the siege armory. We do see Sofa coming around, gonna scout out the walls that Myriad's trying to drop to lock off the east side of the map. The villager is exposed, not gonna be able to finish that wall as Sofa are trying to loop around the backfield here. Will be spotted out by Myriad. He's looking to respond. But Myriad's army seems to be giving chase, and those Sofa are going directly for the back. You do see a wall coming up. Panic wall at the last minute. No gaps right now, but so many vills pulled. And a Woolalo. Can those Sofa be dragged into range?
Oh, what a clutch
Almost.
What a clutch Wolo to save those vills. So many of those almost went down. Instead, just a handful. I think you trade that at this point. The wall not complete, though. Broken down, and the vills are just sitting open. What are they doing? Trying to go back through the gate again.
Yeah, other side.
The unit's reinforcements coming in to save them. Thankfully, that gate just helping them kind of wiggle in and out. Now Sofa in the backfield.
Yeah, they're looking to cause a lot of damage here. Any Vil kills they can get will be very necessary with the 2TC. They're just looking for targets through the farmland, through the backfield of Myriad.
Magic's done a lot of eco damage through this. He is getting lots of raids in, and this is how he shuts down what Myriad's doing. The 2TC is great, but if you kill all the Vils that came out of that second TC, it's like you never had one to begin with.
Absolutely, and the Sofa are just breaking off into little pockets all throughout the base. You could see all of those on the gold Vils earlier. We're up to 30 Vil kills.
32.
Those Sofa unstoppable, getting into the farmland in the back. Those Vils exposed as well. A couple more will go down there. And this is a strong, strong blow from Magic.
What did I say right before this all happened? Get the walls up. Get the walls up and you're good. He was just a little too late on it. Just a couple, like a minute or two earlier, and he would have been fine. This wouldn't have been happening. Instead, these Sofa inflicting so much damage, negating the benefit that second town center gave you. 34 villagers down. Meanwhile, Calboom is up to 20 of 20. Man, Magic just brought this game back. I thought it was going to be Myriad's way, and now it is back to square one as a huge, absolutely huge mass of poison arrowed equipped archers marches down the field right towards Myriad's base.
Yeah, absolutely massive for Magic. Those Sofas stayed alive for so long in the backfield. They were able to get so much damage, and now Magic in a position where he wants to, seems like maybe for the first time, just bring it right to Myriad's base here. Those poison arrow archers just shredding the men-at-arms. Sofa still in the back, distracting some of Myriad's military. They can't fully engage on the front line here.
Oh man, if Myriad only had a couple mangonels or something to deal with this archer mass, those poison arrows are just going to shred through the men-at-arms.
They're able to hold for a bit that front line in the gate, preventing any forward progress here. The military on the side of that gold mine, not letting those Sofa get into Myriad's base. So many archers behind the line just looking to pick out those poison arrow archers. Crossbows as well to deal that extra damage to the Sofa. Myriad's going to hold here.
Wow, impressive hold. That was looking really scary. Enough horsemen coming in reserve after dealing with the Sofa behind, able to come back and push this army back. Myriad survives another day, needs to secure his base and get that eco edge going, but now Magic's done a good job of getting the leverage back. Militarily, he's still down, and this is where it gets scary, is now Myriad has a big, massive crossbows, huge tech change into that. So now the Sofa just can't stand and fight here anymore, and now there's no front line to protect the archers.
Yeah, those Sofa numbers getting whittled down. Crossbows safe in the backfield as those villagers on the wood line are exposed. They're going to have to find somewhere else to be. Those quad stables in the front, those Sofas are popping out right into crossbow range as soon as they're made. It's a tricky position there for the production as Magic has to drop back even more and more towards the town center. There are, it seems like, enough men-at-arms at this point to provide that tankiness, prevent those Sofa from breaking the ranks to get to the back line, keeping those crossbows safe.
The poison
Myriad
archers
looking good.
The poison archers are trying to hit the back line because the crossbows are doing the real damage here. But unfortunately, the men-at-arms can do pretty good damage too and are just acting as a great meat shield here for Myriad. Myriad needs to inflict so much damage to get this game back into his hands, but he's doing an excellent job of it so far.
And those Sofas just popping
And
out
that
in the middle.
will do it! Game 3 goes to Myriad, a 3-0 sweep, a back-and-forth game to claim it. What a series, Beal. What a series.
Absolutely went a different way than I had expected.
Me too.
Don't come to me with your bets. I don't have the stone cold locks.
I guess not. I'm not going to go to your top 5 picks for the week.
Myriad coming in really able to just lock in, get it together, and take a nice 3-0 over Magic.
That was a close game. That was a real back-and-forth game there. I mean, that was swinging back and forth. Magic almost did enough there to bring that back.
It was huge. That pickup in the back, those Sofa got their value, and it was completely massive. But Myriad just able to defend. The switch to crossbows had that military to prevent Magic from getting back in to deal any more damage, able to take out the military of Magic and secure that third game. I mean, the first 2 games, very aggressive by Myriad, setting the pace, putting that pressure on, not letting Magic develop his economy as much. This game, the 2TC, the professional scouts, looking to counter out that cow boom, paid off. You could see the food per minute over the course of that game, heavily in Roos's favor the entire time. Myriad, what a show so far today.
That was an incredible match right there. I mean, goodness, the back and forth. There was a moment I was really scared for Myriad. He was up ahead a lot there, and then that fight in front of the wall, the poison archers, the crossbow mass really pulled through there for the end. The men-at-arms able to tank, and the crossbows just doing the DPS really, I think, sealed the deal for Myriad. I mean, what a series.
Absolutely.
All 3 games, close games, but then very, very impressive display by Myriad.
Absolutely. And it looks like he's coming up here now for the player interview.
You go ahead and take that one away, and then
I'll bounce out of here.
Oh, you'll bounce? You want to bounce? Okay.
You're staying on.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
You get
okay, I'll swap sides with you then. I'll swap sides with you.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, we were going to welcome into the booth here Myriad in just a second. He's coming right up. Grab your headset there. It's pretty flimsy, yeah. You pop it on, give us the mic down there, and first of all, Myriad, congratulations. That last game,
Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. How were you feeling about that last game? I mean, how scared were you when he was pushing in at the last bit there?
The push itself, it was a lot of units, as you'd expect from Mali, right? That was a bit worrying, especially because, you know, there was that war segment there that was just placed down, and I was so pissed off when he managed to break through because the veil wasn't fast enough. And that raid did a fair bit of damage. He was running me around, causing idle time, so I thought maybe he dealt enough there to just break through. But I already had so many farms at that point, and, you know, I had a warrior monk that went on the front line to give the inspiration, and, you know, I had the right composition. I made sure to micro properly here, focusing the archers on his archers, and crossbows into 2 groups to focus sofas on each side. It was a bit rough, but I knew if this push of his fails, if he doesn't have anything behind us like a second TC, there's just no real comeback way for him. So
yeah, this was an impressive game. You keeping pace with. We've seen Malians run away with the cow boom so often in these tournaments. This is one of the first times I've seen someone able to match with the 2TC, stay aggressive enough. It was just a really impressive performance.
Thank you.
Last time you faced against Magic in the qualifiers for this, he won it 3-2. It went the distance. This time you come in and you dominate 3 games in a row. How does that feel?
It feels good. You know, I did practice a lot coming into this, like at least 1 to 2 best of 5s every single day for, you know, upwards of 3 weeks. So it feels very, very validating to have that practice pay off. You know, when you put in the effort and you can see it manifested, you know, when it matters most, it really makes you feel like you're on the right track and that you're doing something right. So yeah, it feels great. I mean, they were not easy games.
No,
you
not
know,
at all.
It was tough, you know, especially the second game. You know, I mean, Jushi against Mongols is typically very Jushi favored.
I noticed that all 3 of these games. I mean, the first game felt like it was great matchup for you. KT is just really good on water. You kind of just you that was a matchup win. It felt like the next 2. I mean, you really grounded those games out. I mean, Mongols into Zushi. At what point did you think you had that game in the bag?
I think, you know, it wasn't one singular point. It was the fact that I was continuously finding damage with the raids, because at that stage, right, because he got the castle timing early, I perhaps was a little bit pulled my spears from the tower a little bit too early. I don't feel like they did too much for me initially. So if I kept them in the tower, then I could have kept it up further. So I was quite worried when the tower did go down, because I knew he'd have access to the safe wood line and the big gold. And, you know, once he got Castle Age, there's just no real hope for me to match that timing. And obviously his units in Castle Age are way, way stronger. But I did at one point go for a raid with the Khan, and I saw that he's running very low on food. So I knew, okay, well, I see where all his food is. It's all quite exposed. I can see if the deer are dead, and then, you know, all he has is his starting berry. So if I just continuously keep pumping units, I had the infrastructure necessary to do so, and I still had a little bit of food left myself. So I thought, well, if I just keep pumping units, find some damage here, the combination of denying food alongside getting a few raids here to find damage and kill villages, that in turn would be enough for me to, even an age down, be able to fight and contest.
Yeah, you had a really good raid on his gold, his 8k gold. You just got the Keshik right on there, and just you killed 16 in about the span of 10 seconds. I mean, it was incredible. And that really set the pace, because he was dealing some blows back. I mean, it was not an easy game, but credit to you. You played an amazing series. I don't think it's a question that you're kind of the underdog in this tournament, right? You're coming in. I mean, people know, like, you got some of the top players in the world, and here you are, obviously in the bottom bracket. So every series matters from here on out. Coming in with a 3-0, how do you feel moving? How far do you think you're able to go moving forward?
Well, this was sort of my minimum goal achieved here, getting top 6. So already I'm satisfied with my performance so far, because we spoke a little bit about this before, right? I mean, there's 8 of us in this tournament here. And, you know, there's a bit of a clear divide between the top 4 and the top and the bottom 4, of course, in terms of seeding. So, you know, the real separation comes with that, who are the 5th and 6th, right? Yeah. So I managed to achieve that, so I'm very, very happy. Obviously, my next opponent, I think, is Louis MT, if I'm not mistaken. That will be a very, very difficult match. But, you know, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself to you know, try to beat him or anything like that. But interestingly, it's in those moments when there is no pressure and you're quite relaxed and you're sort of content in whatever may happen. That is sometimes when the most surprising things can happen. So, you know, it's not like I'm not going to try. I will fight tooth and nail against Louis. I will make him sweat without a doubt. You know, so I will not let it be easy.
I'm sure you won't. I mean, I don't think, we were saying we thought this would be 3-2. We weren't sure who was going to end up on top. We just felt like you guys were both pretty close in skill level. We kind of were going to see who was going to go the distance here. Going 3-0 like this, I mean, I hope you probably have a lot of confidence going on. I mean, taking a game from Louis would feel pretty good, right?
It would. Like, just one game is, you know, it feeds the ego a little bit, you know. It feels like, you know, there's progress being made there, because these players are, you know,
they're incredible. I mean, especially. I was joking. It's really fun being here at the LAN, because it's just really fun to rub shoulders with you guys. I mean, I don't play nearly enough to be nearly close to your guys' level. And I joke that I'd be embarrassed to open the game up next to you guys, because you guys are just at a whole nother level. And then you get like these top guys like Wham, Puppy, Louis, Marine Lord, best in the world, top 4 easy. And you're just like, goodness gracious, like, the way you guys move on the keyboard, even, it's incredible to see. Seeing it live is just mind-boggling. But congratulations on a 3-0, a very impressive win.
Thank you very
much.
I
hope to hear from you again in the future.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. I look forward to the next.
Alrighty, this has been Myriad taking a 3-0 over Magic in an impressive display.